time.
All right. Well,
Man,
Where are we starting today?
with the absolute ass whipping you guys received last week.
In golf?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Sorry, somebody likes paint more than others.
the Valspar.
Yeah. What recap?
Yeah, I'm
Because,
doing time quick.
boy, did that work out in my favor.
I mean, you still got yourself into one.
I mean, the odds were I was getting a shitty shot. I think that
Right.
it was really high probability there. And just barely, though. Just barely.
I
4
know.
spots by Hatton.
I get it.
That was,
I get it. I'm just saying, you were due for at least one,
Yeah, absolutely was. Yeah, I was
even if it was on accident.
Yeah.
going on a ways. It was a ways there. But points wise, wow. 17 points. Oh, you haven't seen the sheet? You haven't seen the sheet?
He got
No, I could feel
You just knew.
the ass kicking while
Yeah.
I was watching Sam Burns win the tournament.
Just knew.
I was just glad DJ didn't completely fold on Sunday.
That's true.
are we just going to talk about after cut folds again? This is the second time this year where I've had somebody in the top 10 that has folded to below 60.
Like a cheap tent.
It's just been bad.
Well, yeah. It has.
Yeah.
It has.
But hey,
Well, are we going
regardless.
one shitty shot at a time so we can just like pluck and take, or are we doing them all at once? What are we doing here?
I think we do them all at once.
All right.
So let's get through our dark horse and top 40.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. So go ahead.
Dark horse this week, which is our 50-1 odds or plus 5,000. All of us made the cut, so that's a good thing, at least for this week. I took Alex Noren. He was T12. Cole took Webb Simpson with a T48, and Stoy took HV3, Harold Varner, with a T57.
Can't be bad. Made the cut.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these are dark horses. These guys, it's not like these guys are super favored to win these tournaments. And I think if we went back and looked, all of these were probably plus odds or pretty darn close to plus odds to even make the top 40.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all better than
Absolutely
Louis.
plus or yeah.
Yeah. Daggers, daggers, daggers.
That wasn't the topic.
Oh,
We'll
man.
circle back to
We'll
that.
circle back to that.
Circle back.
I think that's happened to me almost every single week
Yeah.
where my dark
you and I
horse
did.
or my,
Good at that.
Yep.
Top 40.
So, I mean, that was a good thing for a
Yes.
dark horse. Top 40.
Oh.
2 of us made the top 40. Stoy took Kevin Kisner.
Why'd you go with triangle again? He has just failed miserably.
I didn't. That's the first time I've taken him.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I took him once.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
done
I
with
just
it.
I
figured
mean,
he was
hey
due.
guys, let's not talk. He's not that bad. He got T62.
He
So did
also-
Louis.
Also made the cut.
Also,
made the
Louis.
cut.
Also, Louis made the cut.
So Stoy taking Kevin Kisner.
Yes.
T33. So that one cashed in. Cole Tringali at plus 125.
Triangle.
He took the T62. This is the first time Stoy took a plus 125, and it worked out for him.
Yep.
So he kept the strategy, and it ended up working.
Still works.
And then I had Adam Hadwin plus 115, and he got 7th.
He was
T7.
nowhere close to the top 40.
He did well.
Because he was in the top 10.
Yeah, he did very, very well. And just makes me mad because I said he was probably my favorite guy in the tournament, and I didn't pick him in my one and dones because I wanted to stick with my strategy, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I think the strategy
Stick to
might
your guns. No, stick to the guns.
No, throw it out the window.
Nope.
it might be thrown out the window
Throw it
at
out
this
the window
point.
from the very top floor.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably should
at
have
this
started
point,
with-
yes.
Find a taller building even.
Probably
Yes,
should
at
have
this
just
point,
started
yes.
with not
Yeah.
using said strategy.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Well, my no strategy has really worked well, so you know.
Mine works.
So where do we want to start? Because there's a lot of missed. There's a lot of
let's
shitty
just start
shots.
with the one and dones.
yeah.
All right, so one and done's. Stoy took Hatton, Cole took Dustin Johnson, and I took Louis Oosthuizen. Stoy with the T21, Cole with the T39, and I had a T62. The bet here was Stoy had Hatton in his one and done. Cole faded Hatton. He was the 7th best odds to win the tournament. So in our model, like we talked about last week, 10 spaces less or less than that, and then Stoy has to take it. But
I think I'll make up for it. It's fine, guys. It's
Yep.
my first one.
That's good.
Oh, I went with blue raspberry.
Like if that's the worst that you do is that you picked a guy that was supposed to finish 7th and he finished 21st. Like, I'll live with that.
Right.
Shit.
with it.
Shit.
and missed it by 4 spots. Like so,
I just
7,
knew
like-
that he was just going to be just a fringe.
Just a fringe guy.
he's a fringe guy. Yeah, so did I. We'll get to that.
Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, I have the best fade and the best outright so far,
Oh, right.
and you have the worst fade.
And potentially the worst outright.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I went chalk and he missed the cut.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Wow, we are setting records here.
so
And you were just in the middle.
let's just I mean, we might as well jump right into that. Let's go. I mean, best and worst of the weekend.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Sam Burnsy, little repeat. Got a dub. Got a
Yeah.
dub.
Tried to
First
blow
up.
it,
Tried to
but got her
tried
done.
really hard to
Got
blow
her
it.
done.
Really
I'm
wish
gonna
I'd
need
picked him on
2
the
of
one and done.
those. I don't care which ones they are, but I'm just gonna need.
Cole went with Marakawa T68.
You want the lime and the coconut,
And
or
Ryan
the scotch
had-
and the banana?
Both together. Scotch and banana wouldn't be bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Lime and coconut, like
want
the
the-
old Coke
He
commercials.
wants the
You put
lime
in the
coconut.
coconut.
with
Twist
the
it up.
coconut.
Yeah, come
Uh,
Mix it all together.
Ryan had a Banter who missed the cut, so there's your shitty shot for that one.
That's one.
He also faded Sam Burns,
Yes.
the guy who won the tournament.
Yep. Hard fade.
Hard faded him.
Well, he almost finished 2nd,
He almost did.
so
Yeah,
still bad fade.
that's still bad fade because he was 5th.
That's all right.
5th.
Yes, he was.
Make him feel a little bit better, as we've talked about. I faded a guy that finished T21 who was favored 7th, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it was
No,
that
but
much
within
better.
our rules.
Yeah, no,
within our rules.
absolutely. And then you were
And then
nailed Morikawa, and he sucked on the weekend.
Oh my!
I mean, he shot 3-4 under
Yeah.
first round, so it was
Somewhat
fine.
nervous.
Him
but
and
I
DJ
wasn't.
were about the same spot, and I'm like, okay, like they're headed for a solid top 20, top 30 finish, and then both of
not
them
happen.
Friday and Saturday were even par or worse.
Yeah.
So
So there goes your two.
I honestly think Louis was 7
one.
under and finished
One.
like 2 over.
I only have one.
You only have one.
Ryan tried to give me 2 though. What a dick.
What an asshole.
All right, boys. I'm going with the butterscotch. I don't know if that's a smart decision or not.
It would have been if we had Bumbu.
Over bananas? I mean, I had 1 or 2 choices.
Yeah, I mean,
Had I known it wasn't going to be both, had I thought about it, I would have made Ryan take one of these, and I would have kept one of those. But he's taking 2, so
Your
I
one?
I gave him the choice.
sir, you got to put them both up. What are you doing?
You gotta have them together, one on each side. There we go.
Here we go. Whoa, UV blue. Come back to my high school days.
That's actually, I mean, it's rich, but it's not.
I didn't think it would have been terrible.
No.
How you doing?
I think Ryan had he still had the best combo there.
It was a good combo. I'm not gonna lie.
He's like, he's about to start pouring it. He's like, let me go dump this whiskey out real
Next
quick.
week.
Whiskey. What are you talking about? That's wine.
Grab back. All right.
It just looks
That's some
like
Chardonnay, boy.
This looks like whiskey.
For the points this week, I had 17. Cole had 8, and Ryan had 2.
And again, when we talk
Yeah,
about,
two
I know, but I'm gonna let you know about that. We're gonna reiterate our extra points because you actually hit one of our extra points.
So did you. but
Exactly.
There was a negative in front of it.
So that really pumped Stoy's score up, picking the outright winner, which is unreal hard to do in golf. I mean, that's just hard to do in golf, and he did. But he got the extra 5 points this week. So normally 3 points is the highest you can earn in a category, but he got 8. So that was a huge. And then I got -5 in the player to fade category.
Yeah. And so overall points, your boys got the lead now at 37. Cole, second place, 33, and Ryan's at 30.
I'm just, as you can see in most of the pools, just trying to stay out of the bottom.
Just
not
yeah,
really
don't be
trying
in the
to
bottom.
win. Just don't try not to lose.
Shitty shot count. I now have 1.
Yeah. Congratulations on your first one.
I
Cole
appreciate it.
has 1. I think I messed this up.
Well, you didn't.
because
You didn't give me 1.
I did.
No, I just did it.
He just put it in.
I had it in mine already.
Well, I didn't update that.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it says saving ... It's still waiting to save.
Got it. That's your second one.
Yeah.
Of the year, and
No, I had 2 last week.
Yeah,
that's
that's
right. So you're at
that's
3.
his third.
Third.
So you didn't update it, or it didn't
It-
save.
it
So you're at
hasn't.
7?
No, I'm at 5.
Okay, so you updated yours, but not ours.
No, I have 531 on mine. It just hasn't saved.
Yeah, for whatever reason. It said 520 on
Yep.
Swiss.
Literally says
Yeah.
autosave too, so I don't know which one you're in.
And that's
Anyways.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't have the updated sheet because this stops at the Valspar, so we're out.
so now the real question is,
Try and refresh it.
do we
I'm
jump?
going to.
Do we stay on golf and jump into this week, or are we jump into the madness?
That's up to you. You're the one who has to leave us in 30 minutes.
I know. Well, I'd like to cover both of those things, but
Well, stop talking, get to it. Pick one.
let's just stay on golf then.
Okay, let's stay on golf. So to jump into golf for this week, we got the WGC-Dell Matchplay tournament. So for those of you that don't follow much golf, it's a little bit different of a format.
I love it.
Yes. So
Absolutely
typically
love it.
we're playing stroke play, which means the person with the lowest under par wins the tournament. This week, what it is, I'm on the Goon Squad golf tracker sheet.
Houston.
But
They have a
I'm
problem.
gonna keep going through here. So for the format this week, there's 64 players in the match play field. Those 64 players are divided into 4-player groups. Each group plays round robin tournament style play. So everybody plays everybody in their group on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So they play one round each of those days. The player with the best record in each of those 4 groups advances to the round of 16 for a single elimination play. In the event that there's a 2-way tie, head-to-head results will be used as the tiebreaker. A 3-way tie will require a sudden death playoff.
Yep.
So the round of 16 will be played Saturday morning, followed by the quarterfinals and Saturday afternoon. So potential to play 36 holes on that day. And then semifinals will be Sunday morning, followed by the championship match and consolation finals on Sunday afternoon. So potentially 36 holes on, you're guaranteed 36 holes on Sunday if you make it, unless you withdraw.
Right.
And then Saturday potential for 36 holes if you win your first match.
Correct.
So how those are scored, I guess, in the round robin. So the player who wins that match play event gets 1 point. If there's a tie, it's a half a point. You lose, you get 0.
Yep. This is golf's version of March Madness, which is
Absolutely.
why it's
Do you
awesome.
do you believe they should do this more than once a year?
no more than twice.
I agree. I think they should do one
It's-
towards the fall.
Yeah, like one or two. Yeah, that would be perfect. Spring and fall type of thing. Because it's so unique and because the draw, as we'll see and we'll go through the matchups, the way the draw works is the top 16 players in the field, world golf rankings wise, are seeded 1 through 16. The next 3 are, 17 through
Yeah.
32
Math.
is just drawn from a hat. So you aren't necessarily going to be paired with the worst player, and those are all just drawn. So the next 16 are drawn and then drawn. And you'll see in these matchups there's
Some stacked.
some stacked
nothing.
fields or stacked quadrants, if you will, where you're like, man, any 3 or 4 golfers could make it out of here, or any 3 or 4 golfers could not. There's some where it seems fairly obvious, but much like March Madness, there's going to be upsets. You're going to have very highly rated players who stink. You're going to have guys who get on a roll, and match play is just a completely different mindset. My hope this week is actually specifically for Tony Finau that this format, which he's been fairly good at, kind of gets him out of his
Gets him
funk.
going. Yeah.
Jordan Spieth's another guy that you can look at out there, just from a perspective of like, what can get a guy that hasn't really got over the hump or might be slumping a little bit. This is the type of format and type of play where you can have a good weekend, and it's going to take a little bit of luck, which golf always does, but especially in this match play format, to get all the way to the final. Playing a lot of holes of golf in a lot of days. So got to get some good bounces here and there, got to get some good pairings, and ultimately just the dog days of playing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are going to wear on some guys. And there's a reason that certain guys are match player guys and certain guys aren't, because it's a completely different mentality of I can make a double bogey and it's not going to kill me as long as I birdie the next hole. And there's definitely that mindset of those types of players, and players who can make a lot of birdies in a round definitely, can put the pressure on their opponents, because they can take a little bit more risk on certain holes than they normally would on a 4-day tournament trying to make a cut or anything like that.
He just deleted the entire thing.
My guys are really struggling here, so I'm trying to fill.
It's gone.
I'm trying to fill space.
The entire golf tracker's gone.
No, we're good. We're good.
Eliminated.
It's gone.
We're
gone
good.
forever. Don't worry about the technical difficulties.
Let's get to them.
So
I pulled it up, and if you guys did not know, go to fantasybracket.pgatour.com, and you can actually do your own bracket, just like March Madness.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. This I didn't notice last year. Right. Is there's a show odds, hide odds. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I didn't see it last year, so now we'll be able to talk about odds
the first
of
year
the
that
group.
I've seen it. Yep.
And get through it. So I guess let's start with the first group. John Rahm,
number 1 overall, so he's going to be the 1 seed in that group.
Patrick Reed at ranked 23rd.
Not playing that high.
C. Young, Cameron
Young. Yep, he's one of the Camerons.
I wish they would put the full names. And Munoz.
Sebastian.
Not
the Sebastian from Little Mermaid, but
could be. Rahm is plus 140 to win the group. P. Reed's plus 333. Young is plus 350. So is Munoz at 350. So interesting on the odds there. Who do you got in that one?
I think that Rahm will win that group.
I do too.
Cameron Young is probably biggest competitor there, but just not a ton of. If Patrick Reed was anywhere near form, he's so
a match
fun
play
and match play guy.
He's a match play guy,
but
he's not.
Driver has not been where it needs to be, and his all around game is just not where it needs to be at all. So,
agreed.
Yeah, it's just that's a. I think Rahm got a good draw there. Honestly, like I said, I think he'll move on.
I'm still trying to recover this file, but I like Cameron Young in this one. I think the big reason I'm going with Cameron Young is a birdie or better. So he might get, we talked about this earlier, like you could get beat on a hole and John Rahm might beat him by 6 strokes stroke play, but he can still beat him in match play. Yep. And I think that's why I'm going with Cameron Young. He's got a little bit more to play for as well because he hasn't quite qualified for the Masters yet.
Right. It's true. We should put $1 on all of these.
He also has no match play experience professionally speaking. That doesn't mean he
right.
You don't
no,
know,
I agree.
So I know what you don't know.
Yep. So
we're gonna just go down the same side of the bracket.
Yep.
I don't need to jump over. Brooks Koepka, the 16 seed, with Shane Lowry, HV3, and is it Eric Van Rooyen?
I believe that's right.
I think it's right.
Yep.
Right. Cool. What do you got?
I've got Lowry coming out of that group.
I like that. Koepka's not been playing very well. Lowry has been. I do like some Varner in this one as well. But I definitely like the.
I like Lowry. Yeah, just steady, consistent. Putting is honestly can make a huge difference in this. Not to say there's analytics and stuff don't really go into match play as much. So it's literally if somebody gets hot with the putter, watch out and get out of the way, and that's why. You'll get some upsets and you'll get some people advancing because they'll have a couple hot rounds with the putter, and that can make all the difference because of how match play works.
And the steady eddies are going to do better because they're not going to have these wild swings. They're just going to always be in it. Now, then again, the ones who are wild, it at a little advantage because they could go get an 8, turn around, get a 3, and they're still even. They're all square on that one. Right. So next is Bryson. 9 seed with Gooch, Westwood, and Bland. Mm-hmm. We know nothing about Bryson this season.
No, he's coming off injury. Just picked up driver this week for the first time in almost a month. Not a course that he's played well at traditionally. These guys in general, Bland and Westwood they've played a decent amount. Bland's actually, a guy that you'll see on some boards is kind of a sleeper, but he doesn't really have a match play record either. No. Westwood obviously does. Overall, he's about 500 in match play through the years. He's been on, he's been there with match play, but I'm just going with the best golfer in this group, the guy who's played well all year, and that's Taylor Gooch. And it's not close in that group to me.
I agree.
Just from ball striking and everything like that. So that to me, that was an easy pick, but it's simply because of the other people in his group, nothing to do with the match play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think you kind of hit on it. Like Westwood has the most experience in this style of play, but again, go back to birdie or better. Like that, I think that's going to be a common phrase this week is birdie or better. Can they birdie holes? I don't care if they're bogeying 7 holes. If they're birdieing 8 and they're winning those holes, then that's probably a good thing. So, yeah, Gooch is my pick on that one too.
Sweet. All right, we get to the 8 seed. DJ, Homa, Wolf, and Hughes.
This is another one for me. This one's actually a little tougher, but it really I've eliminated Wolf because how he's playing. Hughes has no experience and hasn't played great.
Right.
Homa's been playing the best golf.
DJ's
Dustin Johnson in match play is, and as he was at the Ryder Cup, scary. And he's played Sunday rounds great the last 2 weeks. So do you go in playing Sunday round, or does he go in nonchalant and just miss altogether? Because I think he's one where if he's in the field of 16, get out of the way, but he just might not be there because of his. So I'm actually going to go Homa because he's playing more consistent golf, but this one is it was a kind of a coin toss for me. I went with the young guy. Homa doesn't really have any match play,
right?
But DJ scary when it comes to match play if he's making birdies.
For me, I think DJ's in. He's probably a little bit behind where he thinks or wanted to be, but he's gearing up. You can see it's building because it's building for the Masters.
Yep.
That's why I think he gets out of the group specifically for that reason. He's just moving forward. I don't think he'll finish where we think he would if he was hot, but I think he gets out of this group. Okay.
I mean, I'm on the same 2 guys. I'm on the same 2 guys with Homa and DJ. We've seen more of Homa, but I feel like DJ's just starting to come around. And when the dude comes around, it's hard to bet against him. I also looked back. This was weird. I still haven't figured out who my one and done pick is. So I clicked on previous results.
Better hurry up.
And when he last won it, he was ranked basically the exact same in the world as what he is right now.
Pull the trigger.
So I like DJ. I'm going DJ to win this pool for sure.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if he was going to do it.
Hey, there's still time.
We haven't been talking about the odds.
Yeah, I mean, odds aren't as big a thing, in my opinion. They're not as big a thing this week until you get to the round of 16, and then you can.
Then we can look at them.
But like, if you don't, like, that's the tough part about this is betting. This is as big a, if not bigger of a crapshoot than March Madness, because you're not really betting round by round necessarily. Is that you're trying to foresee
the whole
it's
bracket?
A lot, yeah, it's a futures,
right?
But there's not really. I mean, you can obviously bet as they go on and stuff, and head to head. But
all right, 5 seed Scheffler, Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood, and Ian Poulter. Who
this is a
god
group,
of match play.
Yeah, this is a group
bigger groups
that. So before I saw what the groupings were, Scheffler in my mind was the first guy that popped to mind. Obviously, had his first experience, dominated Ryder Cup, guy that can make birdies, guy that can hit it far, course fits it well, has played in pressure situations this year. So I'm going with Scheffler, but there is not a guy in that group that I don't think has a. There's all 4 of those guys have a chance to win.
I mean, you take like 2 of the most recent dominant match play guys, put them in the same group. This would be one of those ones where you're like, is it random though? Is it
right?
Right? Is it?
So like Poulter 9-3, Scheffler 4-1-2, Fleetwood. Where's he? I mean, maybe not, but like, can that guy make birdies? Hell yeah, he can.
This one's tough. I don't
like.
Do you know where you're going on this one?
Let me see this one.
Scheffler, Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood, and Poulter.
Fleetwood 7-5-2.
Scheffler was 2. I think Scheffler's playing the best golf
Holtz
out
are
of all of
9-3.
them. Scheffler's playing the best
They're all
golf out of all of
600
them,
plus
and he
winning
was
percentage.
second last year here, so I like Scheffler in this pool.
Yeah, that's the death pool though.
Oh, yeah.
They're all 600 plus winning percentage in match play in their careers, and Scheffler's the one with the least amount of experience, and he's the one that is probably favored in as an overall.
That one's so tough. I don't even know.
That's the group. I think there's one other group that I kind of starred, but there was two groups where I thought all four guys had a legitimate chance of getting out, and you couldn't argue with any of them, and that was one of them. So
I don't know. I really don't know.
yeah.
Scheffler is better odds, but slightly to me. Then we got 12 seed Horschel, Peters, Hoagie, and Lee. Give me Horschel.
Yeah, he's a repeat champion.
Reign champ. It worked out well for me last week with Bernsey.
Yep.
So give me Horschel.
And he's really comfortable in match play, and he's playing well. So you put those two things together.
Would be cool if we were showing everyone this like bracket though, wouldn't it?
We can get it up there eventually.
I meant live.
No.
We
don't do that
ain't
type of
doing that.
It's weird. This guy's still trying to figure out what he.
I actually have it close to figured out, so
Okay, we're
bear
good.
with me. Horschel, Peters, Hoagie, Lee. Hoagie's playing unreal right now. Peters is kind of
He's a dark horse from what I've seen.
Everything that I've seen said he's a birdie or bust kind of guy. I think this is one where I have to go chalk, at least in the first round, because he won this last year, so you know that he's got experience in match play.
It's not what you said last week. Learn lessons from past winners.
Well, I mean in the first round.
Peters is 2-4-3 at this event, so it's not like he's a world beater by any means at this event.
No. All right. 13 seed Hatton, Berger, Kim, and I never can pronounce his last name, so I say his first name, Christian.
Bazudenheit.
Bazudenhout. Wait. Christian B.
BB. BZ.
I like this group. This is a solid group.
It's
too.
a solid group. Give me Berger, though.
I was about to say that. Yeah. About to say the same thing. Hatton's
Hatton
played a lot of golf.
He has. And I think he showed it last week a little bit. But this is one. I just think Berger has the advantage based on the course. Really nothing else. Hatton is
I like me some Berger on that.
as fun as he is to watch in match play. He's about a 500 match play player, and I just think Berger's going to playing better golf right now. So
he probably after those first couple rounds probably just needs to rest up for.
At the event, Berger's 3-9, just so you know.
Yeah,
and
but I like
Hatton's 4-5-2. So I mean, those are the two that have.
I like Berger. Yeah, give me some cheese. On that.
Yeah, I'm a Berger guy as well on this one. I think it's hard to bet against Hatton in recent form right now, but it's not like Berger's playing bad golf by any means. No. So can't really look at that. I do love Bazudenhout. I think he's going to get a win this year. I just don't know that this fits him.
No, I would agree with that.
4 seed Cantlay, M, Seamus, Power, and little Mitchell, Ash. I like this group too.
This is a sneaky strong group.
It really is.
A lot of guys that probably most people, unless you really, really follow golf, have heard of.
Yep.
But all guys that are great ball strikers, can score and go low. Power being probably the number one example of that this year. Mitchell, close second, but Power's had a lot of birdies this year.
Yeah.
And been in a lot of top 10s, top 20s. But that being said, I'm taking a flyer on Keith Mitchell in this group.
Oh.
There's always, it's
Some
like
upset.
the 12-5 upset, the 14-3, whatever you want to call it. This is my, he's the 4th rated guy in the group. One of the 4th rated people in the groups is going to make it through, if not a couple. This is going to be my group. Keith Mitchell's made a ton of birdies this year, and that's who I'm taking in this one. No other reason than there's got to be an upset somewhere.
Yeah, I'm also following that, but I'm going with M. I think M's the stronger of that, of the upset being the 21st ranking.
Yeah, I think my overall throughout the course of the year, I think my favorite golfer in this group has been Seamus Power probably. but I just think M is suited for this a little bit better. Just in this first, I don't know that I have him going very deep, but I think he's the best maybe in this pool. But Keith Mitchell, I think you keep saying sneaky. He's the sneaky one in this group.
So
Sung J.M. is who I'm going to get out of this group.
all right.
I mean, absolutely.
Other
All right.
side.
Let's go other side. 2 seed, Markawa, Kokrak, Garcia, and McIntyre.
I can't see the surge and not move the surge on. The surge is
get it.
built.
I get it. And
He
he's
is
played
built
solid
for
this year.
match play.
How's Morikawa's record?
I think he was
Meh.
like 58th last year.
0-2-1.
Oh, well, give me the surge then. I'm going to flip it.
And honestly, if I didn't know Sergio Garcia match play, Kokrak to me is the actual gun to my head. But Sergio, just the way he plays match play,
Sergio has better
rooting-
odds than Kokrak.
He does, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. Where if I'm putting my money somewhere, I'm probably putting it on Kokrak.
Yeah.
But Sergio in match play is just like
So much
it's a
fun.
match made in heaven.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're riding the surge.
I am actually going Morikawa on this one. I think
He's mad.
What's that?
He's mad. He does not like how he's played the last 2 weeks.
Exactly, and I think that's why.
I've enjoyed it.
And honestly, even with the way he's played, he's still might be playing the
Got to be able
best
to putt.
golf.
You can't putt.
I mean, even so,
It's match play
even with
emotions.
his putting,
Gotta putt.
even
You
with
gotta
his
hit the
putting,
puttas.
even
You
with
gotta
his
hit the
putting, he's
putts.
32nd. He's 32nd strokes game putting,
That's fine.
and fifth in
match
birdies
play.
are better.
Only
Match
16 people move on. So
Match play.
Exactly.
Different.
Morikawa.
All right. Answer 15 seed Simpson, Harmon, and Bubba.
gosh, this is such a enigma of a group compared to some of the other groups. Like these 4 dudes don't even like. It's like
I'm going with Webb because he's the 31st and my number is 31.
like I mean,
Legitimately
the thing is
though,
like my thing with this one is who cares? But Bubba's my favorite player out of those 4, so that's who I'm going with.
Did you see why we chose our players?
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with golf.
stuff. Right.
Yeah. So
Well, it's 'cause I don't like any of those golfers, and Bubba's by far the most.
You took Webb. You took Bubba. I'm gonna go dark horse. I'm gonna go Brian Harmon.
Oh, it's so dark.
so dark.
It's the whitest little white guy. He's
10
I said
left-handed,
dark
though.
horse.
Now you want to talk about this is another group that I just love and it's going to be tough to pick. And that's Louis, Casey, Connors, and Norin.
Woo. Yeah, Connors and Louis. To me, I kind of took out of this. To me, it was between
Oh yeah?
it was between Casey and Norin.
I agree.
Those are the 2 best match play players. Those are actually to me like top 10 to 12 match play players in the field, and they're unfortunately paired together.
Go figure.
Casey's who I'm picking this week, so
Yeah, I am too.
yeah, he's got to move. He's got to get out of the group, or I'm not going to do well.
No, I like Corey Connors this week.
Yeah, that guy doesn't play match play worth a crap.
Just saying. Not saying, just saying.
3.
Oh, this.
He's only played 1 year.
Exactly.
He's only played once. He's awful at it, but he only
He
played
learned how to
once.
lose last year, and he's going to continue this year.
All right, 7 seed Shoffley, our boy Finau, Herbert, and Kanyaya. I don't know who that is actually.
He was the number 1
Doesn't have a
amateur
flag.
player. He was the number 1 amateur player in the world last year.
He doesn't have a flag.
That's fine.
He's the only one who doesn't have a flag.
Who you got on this one?
Mainly because it's not going to hurt me, but I'm going to go Finau. He's got to turn it around, given all the support can possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shitty shot on his, so
Right.
I'm going to push him through the next round.
I think Shoffley finds a way to win this group.
I do too, but
I know.
I got to give some love.
If I'm not gonna, here's my thing. If I'm not gonna pick Finau past that, then I'm not gonna take him to lose in the next round. So, because if I was gonna ride him, he'd be like the 4 seed that you'd ride all the way through the tournament type of thing.
Not me.
So
Riding him.
I
like him.
like I said,
Hold on.
Casey's my horse for this course. So
Riding Casey through it.
Yep. So I will take
Sergio Casey is going to be a really solid.
Yeah,
taking Shoffley in that one.
I'm on the same page as you, Cole. I'm taking Shoffley on this one.
Nice.
I kind of want to part of me wanted to take a flyer and just pick the Kanaya just to see what he's like because he might not be great stroke play because he is an amateur. He's young. It's hard to just jump into the tour, but we'll see. But I am excited to watch him this weekend.
All right. 6th seed, Thomas, Kisner, Leishman, and List. This is
I'll get another not fair.
Solid. No, these should be in different groups, but I like the competitiveness on this one.
Kisner's, the dude's built for one, this is hometown course for him, and two, the dude is pissed off that he has not been picked for a President's Cup or a Ryder Cup, and match play is his jam. So as well as JT's playing, JT getting into form for Augusta, whatever it may be, I'm riding Kisner this week. Not a dude that I want to play against with a chip on his shoulder, and this is the ultimate chip on the shoulder tournament for Kisner. So if he doesn't play well, there's nobody that's going to be more upset than him. And that dude brings the putter.
Absolutely.
And this tournament, he's the best putter in that group. So I'm going to Ryan's free throw percentage for this group, and putting percentage is my free throw percentage for this one.
Absolutely. Give me JT.
Agree with everything you said. Picking a different guy.
I mean,
Luke List, all right.
JT might be playing the best golf out of anybody in the world right now. Realistically, he hasn't had the results.
Sam Burns would have something.
He hasn't had the results, but we just talked about it a couple weeks ago with him at, was it Arnold Palmer, where he played just unreal. Mm-hmm. I like JT. Did you guys see that video of him, by the way, when some dude was yelling at him? He's like, bump and run, greens are fast. And JT looked at him. He's like, are you done?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, it's going around. He's just like, are you done, dude? Like, shut up. Basically is what he said.
Next group, we got Spieth, Scott, Rose, and Bradley. Keegan.
This is an intriguing group. Not a great group.
I like the group.
This is Spieth's home course, hometown. Dude makes a lot of long putts. Hasn't been playing the greatest golf, but match play just kind of fits him. I'm riding Spieth in this group.
Yeah, I want to see a JT Spieth matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So give it to me.
I'd love to see a Spieth Kisner matchup.
I mean, I want to
bet.
see a JT Spieth matchup, but
That's
JT carried Spieth for a lot of the time in the Ryder Cup. So I'm going to recent match play success, and I'm going away from Spieth. I'm actually taking Adam Scott in this group.
That would be solid. All right. Next is
Adam Scott hits 8 balls in the water.
Yeah, he probably will. Neiman, Nah,
And
Henley,
still
and
wins.
McNeely. Give me some Nah. Love me some Kevin Nah. Hasn't been playing best. He's a little upset about it. Get him some form for Masters.
Also a great putter.
Also a
a
good
great competitor.
and also just a solid group
ball-
for him to
ball
be in.
striker, and that's a good group, I think, for him to come out of. So I'll take Nah as well.
You shouldn't be afraid of anything.
I'm going Mav McNeely in this one.
Oh, Mav.
Love Mav.
One of the last guys in.
Yeah, last group.
He is the last guy in.
Was he?
Yeah,
I think
he
just
was the
replaced-
alternate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam
he's
Burns.
the
Sam Burns withdrew.
Well, and Cameron
yeah.
Smith withdrew too, and I don't know who got in his spot, but
Anyways, yeah, he's 64th, so that'll do it.
Mav McNeely.
Last group: Hovland, Willie Z, Triangle, and Straka.
I think my two favorite matchups out of any of these pools are Hovland, Zalatoris, and I think probably Hattenberger are probably my two favorite matchups almost in this first round. So that's what made this one tough. You got Hovland, who's struggling with his wedges and around the green and different stuff like that, but you have Will Zalatoris, who can't putt to save his life within 5 feet. He makes stuff outside of that, but inside of 5 feet,
you bet your ass Zalatoris is putting everything out this week.
Oh, absolutely.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna make
he
him
is
putt.
sweating this tournament in my mind.
Yeah, and that's why. That's exactly why I'm going Hovland.
Absolutely. Right it.
That's why I kind of ruled Will out right away and Tringali as well. Sepp Straka to me is a guy that like he's been playing such loose golf this year that it's like, man, like if he gets going, the dude can birdie, and he's so long that like. But then it's like, well, as long as Hovland doesn't have to chip, he might beat everybody.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, he's not gonna have to chip every hole, so I can't pick against him. So it's Hovland because that dude can make birdies on demand, and he hits it to 3 feet a lot. So, yeah, because it's match play, I think that Hovland's the play there, but Sepp Straka he'd be a good sleeper coming out of there, just as well as he's played this year.
Yeah.
Right. And we'll get our overall brackets. We got some time issues, but who's your champ?
My champ is going to be Paul Casey. Tough field coming through. I think that I had Casey, I believe, in Scheffler. And then I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to get Final Four if I remember. I think I had Horschel and who else would have been in the bottom side there?
Berger.
Either Berger or maybe even Hovland coming out of that side. Yeah, I think Hovland.
Yeah.
Because I think I had Hovland, Casey, and Horschel, Scheffler.
I got Rom, Garcia, Horschel, and Hovland as my Final Four, and Rom and Garcia in the third place match. All Spaniards against each other. Be really fun to watch. Horschel's my champ. Back to back.
I'm going JT as my champ. I think I got DJ. This one's the tough one. I think I got Berger, DJ Berger. I'm going DJ Berger, Morikawa, Thomas as my top 4, but Thomas to win it.
Okay. Well, let's ride then.
Honestly, I think I might do a DJ Thomas final. That would be a fun final, I think, to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of fun finals coming out of this thing. There's a lot of good golfers, a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun matchups, a lot of fun match play golfers.
So with that, we could still do our dark horses or our player to fade kind of picks if we wanted to.
I think this one's just
But I do like just the tournament, straight up tournament.
we just do a straight up tournament. Whoever gets the most points. And then obviously if I would say this though. If one of our picks wins, the other two have shitty shots, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed 100%. I like that.
That's the points is tournaments, just like we're doing with March Madness, which, lets us
That one did save.
lets us dive right back into a little bit of March Madness.
So, I mean, my bracket's busted.
Good thing. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I think there's a lot of people who can say the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, from
St. Peter's, baby.
From our bracket standpoint and standings, Cole is in the lead as we speak.
Who's in last?
With 44 points. Ryan Hall is in last.
Oh, hey, wait. He needs one more shot then, right?
No, it's not over.
Right, but I mean, we're repicking at 16 from those teams. So
I was talking about the over. I was talking about the overall
I'm
bracket.
just saying, but generally speaking,
no, you're right.
Like,
You're right. But I was talking about the overall bracket.
I think you're just
standings.
like, hey, we grabbed an extra one. We might as well get it off the table.
Too, but like, there's a reason. Like,
hold on.
I'm going to give you a chance to repick.
What?
Did you get last?
Yeah, he got the
weekend?
least amount of points on the weekend.
Yeah,
and
I have
we're
it.
going to pick 16.
If you have
and 8.
March Madness, I have a March Madness Goon
I
Squad.
wasn't pulling that up. I was literally just pulling up the
no.
bracket.
Yeah,
No, I have a March Madness.
Got
Actually, if we really wanted to do that, Cole and I tied.
For what?
Round 1, round 2.
Oh, that means
For
you
number
guys
one,
have to
numbers
both
picked.
take one.
But if we want to...
What's the tiebreaker?
It could be points left.
Well, I
we
thought
don't have points left.
Stoy
on that.
didn't beat us on rounds 1 and 2.
Absolutely did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We tied on the other one,
Absolutely.
We tied
but I have the most people left.
in your actual bracket.
The
yes.
overall bracket, yes,
Right.
the actual bracket, not our Side bet.
Right.
round bracket.
So therefore, Ryan's got the shot. All right. Sounds good.
the tiebreaker is the overall.
He got T-ball.
I mean, I got like four.
He's got T-ball.
4 minutes to finish tequila and make my Sweet 16 picks. So
Oh, that's
here we are.
awesome. Yeah, I have a 3-point lead. No bigs.
Okay.
No bigs. All right, let's burn through them. Zaga, Arkansas.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've played 2 tougher games. I say 1 in 16 and the 1 seed, whatever.
Also,
but-
just surprised Arkansas is this far, in my opinion. So, like,
right.
give
I'll
me
take
Zags.
Gonzaga.
Nope, I'm going.
Ryan, can you share real quick what your picks are based off of this week?
My picks are straight free throw percentage, baby. And I'm going with Arkansas.
All right.
Okay.
And
Come on.
Gonzaga struggled. They shot 50% from the free throw line against Memphis.
I actually think if I would have gone back to those first couple rounds,
You've
and
done pretty damn good.
my bracket would have been all right.
Would St. Peter's still be alive?
They absolutely would not.
No, I mean, nor should they really,
Hey, they kind of dominated game
from
2.
from a stats
Right,
perspective.
that's fair.
Ooh, Tech Duke.
Tech.
This one's tough.
Contrasting styles for sure.
Exactly.
Yep. But
And
I'm
who's going to
taking
overcome that?
the experience and the toughness of Tech and the way that the tournament's been officiated does not bode well for Duke.
No.
I'm taking the free throw percentage of Duke.
Not a baby.
This one's a
Did you
tough
take
one.
Tech?
What?
Tech?
No,
Duke?
I haven't decided.
Oh, I thought you meant
He was.
in
That's why he
this,
said
I
this
have.
one's
Oh, okay.
tough.
This one's tough.
Just take the team that's going to score the most points.
Well, in the tournament, it's been Duke. Tech has not scored in the tourney.
But that's what they do.
Well, not in the tourney, they don't. But outside of it,
That's what they do is stop teams from scoring.
Yeah, but they
That's
don't.
their
They
MO.
haven't been scoring.
Well, yeah,
So,
you don't have to score as many
but
if the other team
I'm a
scores
ride
less.
with. I have Tech going further in the bracket. I think Duke's.
You ride the bracket?
I ride the bracket on this one.
All right.
The bracket pick.
Oh, if I was riding my bracket pick, I'd take Texas Tech.
No.
But I'm not riding that. I'm going free throw
Flip the
percentage,
flop.
baby.
UNC, UCLA. This one's North Carolina all the way. For me,
Ryan,
also.
I need to hear your pick here.
They have the better free throw percentage.
UNC does?
UNC.
And they're hot. They're a hotter team.
They are. And my only reason for picking them is that I don't think that, and I don't remember the guy's name, I think it's Juarez, rolled his ankle really bad, and I don't think he's going to play. And that's one of
That's not good.
UCLA's top 3 players. And North Carolina's hot as long as they don't get a guy ejected when they're up 25 and
With an elbow.
almost lose
to
a
the
game
chest.
in overtime. But yes, I'll take North Carolina.
Purdue, St. Peter's. I'm sorry, I can't. The Peters train ends.
All right, Sweet 16 run.
It was solid.
Purdue's just too much.
They're too big, so they're going to eat them alive.
They shoot better free throws.
They better shoot 3-pointers at a 90% clip.
Oh, Purdue does.
Purdue shoots better free
Oh,
throws.
Purdue does.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think there's a category that Purdue isn't not
Better
going
than
to be
St.
than St.
Peter's.
Peter's. Like, let's be honest.
that's true. That's true.
Arizona, Houston. Who shoots better free throws, Ryan?
Zona.
Zona. I'm going with Zona just because I have them in the Final Four anyway. So this is a bracket pick.
I mean, I have them going as well, but something tells me that Houston's going to win this game. So for sake of our this week's picks, I'm going to switch that to Houston.
Ooh. Michigan Nova, the best free throw shooting out of the two is?
Best free throw shooting team in the country is Villanova.
Nova.
Nova.
And I will
I
take
will also ride with Nova.
Villanova there. Not going to be an easy game, though. Michigan's peaking at the right time. They've got two.
I think Dickinson gets in foul trouble in this game,
Yep.
which he hasn't been all tournament, and that'll.
That's the difference.
Yep.
But their one guard's been playing really well. Brooks.
Yeah.
Brooks and Dixon. If
Yes.
they stay out of foul trouble and can play, then this will be a game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. KU Prov? Free throw?
Kansas finds a way.
Yeah. KU finds a way. Absolutely.
I think this game could actually kind of be ugly at times. Both these teams have the ability to score, but can also
Go in droughts.
kind of just suck at times. So
Iowa State, Miami.
The most intriguing matchup.
I can guarantee you that Iowa State doesn't shoot free throws better than Miami, and I don't even know how Miami
not
shoots
wrong.
free throws.
You're not-
I just know
So-
how Iowa State shoots, and there's no way that I'm not sure there's a team in the Sweet 16 that shoots worse free throws than Iowa State.
That's true. That's true.
Iowa State is the 284th team in the country
Out of how
in
many
free
teams?
throws.
How many teams?
And
They've scored less
Miami's
than 40
87th.
points twice this year in games.
Miami's 87th.
Give me
So they're not even great.
the U.
and Ryan's obviously.
I've been riding with him because
he's on Miami free throw.
Yeah.
I'm on Iowa State. Iowa State hasn't lost to a team that doesn't play in the Big 12. So
you're not wrong.
they are 15-0 this year, and if you play in the Big 12, then you can beat Iowa State. If you do not, you cannot beat Iowa State. And it doesn't matter how damn ugly it is, because guess what? It's going to be ugly whether they win or whether they lose. It is ugly. I've watched a lot of Iowa State basketball this year. So ride the Clones in Chicago. So Miami's got to come to Chicago and play basically in the backyard.
Do we have to quickly pick the Elite Eight before?
We do.
We do. Okay,
Yep.
I thought so.
So do you need to quickly look at who's better at free throws?
I mean, it's a pretty easy thing to do.
I'll take Gonzaga,
Yeah.
even though I think they're probably worse at free throws than Texas Tech.
I don't think that's a free throw game at that point.
So here's my problem.
Arkansas is a better free throw shooting team than Duke.
All right. Yeah, Arkansas in the Final Four. I like it.
Ew.
I mean, somebody's going to make it. We're not expecting. So,
Right,
I mean,
absolutely.
here we are. You got the Zags?
Yeah. Zags.
And then what's the next one?
UNC, Purdue.
Give me Purdue.
We all have that. Purdue.
And I don't even love that because I think Purdue actually, UNC actually matches up pretty well with them.
Yeah. I
You know what?
Yeah, nah.
Give me North Carolina.
Yep.
Come on and raise
Purdue
up.
is the
Come
222nd
on and
team in
raise
the
up.
country.
Take that shirt off. Twist it around your head.
Spin like a helicopter. That's it on North Carolina.
I got UNC.
No.
Oh, UNC's better at free throws?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, way better. Purdue is the
I just
222nd team in the
one
country.
guy on North Carolina that can't shoot free throws for a lot at the end of the Baylor game. So it gave me a bad taste of the.
Isn't that
North
what you're
Carolina
supposed to do?
He was still like a 70%.
71 on the year.
And he shot maybe 30.
Not only
40.
that, but it looked
Awful.
like a 40%
Oh my
free throw shot. I don't know how he made 71%.
Because he only shot like what? I don't know, maybe 20. I
But
don't
it's
know,
their-
but
it was their big
nuts.
guy.
You know, it was insane.
So like I figured he had to shoot quite a few, but I don't
Nerves
know.
got to him.
My Final Four is incredible.
Zona Nova or Houston Nova? This one's.
Give me Nova.
I like this.
I mean, I'm not sure on Arizona Houston, obviously. So I've got Arizona all the way through this game, so I'm obviously not pick them at all.
Right.
And
At
that
all?
just
Like,
makes
why?
sense.
Why?
Just
Why not?
spread my chances out.
Give me Zona. Free throws?
Villanova's the best free throw shooting
Oh, yeah. the
team
league.
in the country.
Yeah, so you got to go Nova.
And the Cats. All the way to the national championship.
KU Miami or KU Iowa State? Uh-oh.
Well, it's not difficult for me.
No. it's
Iowa
easy.
State can't beat anybody in the Big 12. So,
it's-
there you go. It's
there you go.
Kansas.
And give me the U. I think there's an upset. This is my upset into the Final Four. They're hot.
And they shoot better
And I
free throws.
really- and I-
And they shoot better free throws, baby.
And I really
Give
want
me
KU to
Miami.
lose because the overall
Wait,
bracket.
so
'cause
right
that's your
now,
winner.
Final Four for me is Kansas, Nova, Zags,
UNC.
and North Carolina.
Yep.
God, what a crazy Final Four. Final Four for you.
Final Four for me: Zags, Purdue, Zona, Miami.
Okay.
Wait till you hear this, guys.
Final Four for me: Arkansas, UNC, Nova, Miami.
I think you could I gotta.
Well, Nova's
if you
winning
go
it for him.
If any of us go 0-4, that's 2.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
If you don't get a team to the Final Four,
You gone.
that's 2 shitty shots.
Shots.
Yeah, I'll absolutely take that back because I'm at least going 2 for 4.
Right. Okay,
At-
that's fine.
at
That's-
least.
That's fine. That's all I'm saying.
I would see you at least going 1 for 4, but hey, whatever.
All right, 2. 2.
Two might be aggressive.
Yes.
Uh,
Exciting weekend
well, we know who-
basketball and golf.
yeah, this would be fun.
Sorry, I got to rush out.
Peace.
I got to go T-ball. T-ball coach.
an hour and a half.
Coaching clinic. Well, not even clinic. Coaching rules. I don't even know. A lot of football news. Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Peace out, Atlanta. A lot of good times there.
He's gonna go win a ring.
One bad Super Bowl
He's gonna win a ring, and I hope he does.
in Indy. That's a great fit.
It's just a fantastic fit.
Kill it. Thanks, fellas.
Yep. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Peace out.
So I have everything saved up until the Valspar. So I'm only missing one tournament.
I know, because that's all I had left was the Valspar.
I don't know
know
how I
what you
recovered
did.
this, but I did.
What'd you do?
So when I went to save it, it looks like it switched Excel sheets, and I saved over my old Excel sheet
Thanks.
because I was trying to get you to update yours, and it just.
Nightmare.
And then all of a sudden, I saw a different sheet, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
So based on your free throw percentage, you have Nova winning because they're the best free throw shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nova's your champ,
Yep.
regardless. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it is.
I mean, I can fill out the rest of my bracket right now if you guys want.
You guys want? Can I start over? All right, let's get to a little NFL news. Obviously, front and center, Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. Matty Ice. Let me get your thoughts on the situation. Well, let me give the background of how it all went down for the listeners, of course, who, if they're not on Twitter or anything at this point, I think you should know what happened. But which is funny, I just got an alert: Des Moines to Georgia flights. Anyways, I'll give the background, then I want to get your opinion first.
Yeah.
Before I give my tribute to Matty Ice. So we early in about 4 weeks ago, agreed to restructure his contract, Matty Ice's contract. Right, we have a $40 million cap hit this year. They renegotiated to get it down to like 23, 28 to help spread it out, so we could sign some peeps. Okay, that's how it started. We were not in the running of Deshaun Watson at this point. The Browns were, Panthers, Saints, I think Seahawks, someone else in that regard during that time period. And then Watson calls Arthur Blank. If you don't know, that's the owner of the Falcons and Home Depot. A little fun fact, right?
Fun facts.
Fun facts. Because he used to be the ball boy for the Falcons. They have a actual personal family relationship. And apparently he said, "Hey, Blank, I want to play for the Falcons, or I want the Falcons to have an opportunity." Obviously, we don't know what that discussion was about because we're not there. So now the Falcons are in it and trying to come up with a deal, a plan, or whatever. And they do. They get to a point where almost every news outlet has him going to the Falcons. He said no to the Browns, no to someone else, no to the Panthers. It was the Saints and the Falcons. Came down to that. That point, Ryan had a bonus, $7.5 million roster bonus coming. I think the last Thursday or whatever. They extended it to yesterday at 4. And so now everyone's like, well, obviously, if you're going to do that, that's what's going to happen. So now we're all thinking, well, where's Matt Ryan going to go, right? Is he going to Seattle? Is he going to the Colts? Is he going to the Browns? Where's he going? What are we doing with him? I always thought that if he was going to go anywhere to be the Colts, it just made too much sense if we were going to trade him. Again, we started with him restructuring his contract, ride with him probably for another year, get a rookie, then we'll depart. He is older. I wish he would have retired a Falcon personally. He'll probably come back and retire a Falcon, but I believe he should have wrote it out because we are definitely in rebuild mode. We definitely are now. All right, so now it's Falcons Saints. Very heavily leaning Falcons, coming to a deadline this weekend. All of a sudden, Deshaun's going to the Browns after ruling them out. Now, Deshaun made a list before this whole went thing down, and he said, I don't want to play in cold weather. I don't want to go to a rebuild situation. And there was something else I don't remember. I wanted to be close to home because he's from Georgia, Atlanta area. Hence the connection, right? All of those were precursor. Atlanta, Saints only. Browns are out. Browns say, hey, wait a minute. Here's $230 million guaranteed. Oh, and we'll delay. We'll give you basically vet minimum for this year. So if you get suspended, it doesn't. We're not. You still aren't getting your full pay. We'll kick that to other years because of your 22 civil lawsuits that are still happening. Okay. Now, Falcons are in scramble mode. They went all in, failed, and now they've got. I would say disgruntled. If you listen to today, Matt Ryan's. I guess welcoming speech at a conference, whatever it was, because he went to Indy today. The best professional in sports I think I have ever seen in regards to social media, life, everything. Dude has been crystal clean. No Deflategate, nothing. There's been zero about him except for that they think, he's not a winner because of the Super Bowl, which was not anywhere close to on him. So he goes there and says they were professionals about it. I wasn't happy. I was either going to stay a Falcon or I was going to be a Colt. But I had a conversation on Saturday with the brass up there and at Indianapolis, and their passion, they sold me on it. I'm like, of course they did. They have one of the top O-lines, top 2, top 3 running backs, and a really solid receiving core, and a defense that has put them in every game last year because they didn't have a quarterback. Well, they had wins, but they didn't really have anybody. So now he goes to probably the best setup he's had for a long time, and I am so happy for him. Really hope he wins that. So laid it all out there. That's what's going on. What are your thoughts on the situation?
So I think I'll take a step back. And prior to Deshaun Watson and the scandal that happened, if you tell me a team is going all in on Deshaun Watson prior to that happening in the way that he'd played, I'd say that's a smart team. I like the move, but not seeing a guy play for as long as he hasn't. Yes, he's young. You know that he's probably been working out like crazy. He had his time to get back in it. Like, that happened. He was going to come back.
Well, and he was also practicing last year.
Right.
Like, he was still a part of the team. They just weren't playing him.
Exactly.
He
So
was still there.
So for me, the only thing is I think there's a difference, though, between just practicing and then actual, like, nope, you're full on playing. You're full on ready to go.
Slight difference.
So if somebody would have folded the bag to get him 2 years ago or whenever, I'm completely in agreement. My biggest thing, I think, and how many NFL quarterbacks are in the Hall of Fame without a Super Bowl?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. While you continue on, I might Google that one.
I think you should, because I think we're talking about a guy that should be at least in contention.
Oh,
Matt
absolutely.
Ryan he's a good quarterback. He gets overlooked constantly. Like, we talked a lot about this year.
There's 3. There's only 3 quarterbacks who didn't reach the Super Bowl era and still inducted to the Hall of Fame. Warren Moon, Sonny Jurgensen, and Dan Fouts. Just to let you know.
So I'm looking at this, and we talked a lot about.
I feel like one's missing. Wouldn't he be missing?
That said didn't reach the Super Bowl era.
Oh.
So that could be. But so looking at it from a standpoint, like, that's a good guy to compare to ish.
Oh, a Marino?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like numbers, like, Matt Ryan is a great quarterback.
His overall stats and numbers.
We go
to my Twitter and look it up.
We go back to coaching. We go back to defense in that Super Bowl. We go back to, does he have a line? We go back to those things. I think personally, though, for Matt Ryan, it was great for him to get out because his weapons just started to fizzle away.
There is, I told you to look this up. There's legitimately like 0 receivers on the Falcons right now. Their only threats are Patterson and Pitts.
Right.
That's it on offense.
And the thing,
Which kills me because, like, last year, before the Julio trade, we had Julio, Ridley, and we were going to get Pitts.
and Russell Gage is not a bad. He's not a bad receiver in that situation.
I'm going to the season like this is it, man.
But my thing about that is as well, like, Cordero Patterson is like a utility player in baseball. He's a dynamic player. He can play running back. He can play wide receiver. But you still also need like a number one guy at one of those positions. And he's the number one guy at both of those positions.
Yeah.
So I think personally, I think the Falcons went head over heels for a guy, kind of like you said, they went with a relationship thing before knowing really the details. And granted, Deshaun Watson probably followed the money. Now, if you go back and you look, the rebuild situation out of those three, I think the Browns have maybe the least amount of rebuild situation based off of talent that was on their roster at the time.
Saints, Falcons,
Browns.
Oh, absolutely.
Least rebuild
They
situation.
might need a receiver here, but that's...
Yep.
Oh.
But then you go cold weather, Browns are out. So then you go close to home.
Browns are out.
Saints are more out than the Falcons. So if you are playing law of averages here, or Deshaun Watson goes to Atlanta.
Absolutely. Unless you follow the money.
And that's what he did. He followed the money, and it's not like the Falcons weren't going to give a lot for him.
They're going to get a lot. But I believe that his camp came back and said, we want a guarantee or we want more money. And, I will give him credit for this. He said no, because we're not going to give up so much of our future for just Deshaun, right? In terms of money and all of that stuff. And I agree with him on that. I don't agree we should have been at Deshaun, and we won't get into, his civil cases or whatnot, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's 22 of them.
That's the biggest thing.
Where there's suspended,
where there's smoke, there's fire. And in this situation, that's probably what the Falcons looked at. And I think that's probably what their brass looked at is
we're willing to pay this based upon that.
We will not guarantee this because what happens if some 2 or 3 of those come true?
Right.
And then you're suspended from the NFL, you're suspended from this. And now instead of missing 1 year, you're missing 2 years, 3 years, and we're paying you, and then we're losing money, and we're losing money. So I think in that sense, the Falcons were probably pretty darn smart in that situation. Personally, I think the smartest situation is, what has Matt Ryan done wrong? Nothing. Keep the dude. Draft, if you don't want to draft somebody this year, Josh Rosen's probably better than anybody. You could argue that he's better than anybody in this draft this year because Josh Rosen
arguably this year.
He's good. But then you draft somebody next year if you really want to. Let Matt Ryan play out his career in Atlanta. Matt Ryan's not in the desire of Tom Brady to say, oh, let's play till 45, let's do this. That's just, he just wants to play because he loves the game, and I think he's going to be one of those guys that once that starts to flicker, once his body starts to get banged up, and I think, honestly, it's less about his love for the game, and once he realizes,
I hurt my team.
I'm a hindrance to my team because I'm just not physically at that level.
He would walk. And he would also do a very fantastic job coaching.
But that's a character thing. It's a character thing. And I watched these videos a couple times on YouTube. Like, I think Matt Ryan, and this speaks to his character, you see like him in their Falcon shop dressed up and like disguises and stuff like that. Like, he just loves to be around that organization. And I think that's my least favorite thing that the Falcons did is let that guy go.
Yeah. I agree.
They went all in on a guy that hasn't played competitively in a year and let a guy that's had success for 14 years in your organization go.
Oh, he's a face. We didn't win shit. 07 comes in, he gets Rookie of the Year. We go to the playoffs for the first time in like 6 years. He changed who the Falcons are in the world that we know who the Falcons are. And that's why we can appreciate him for that. Now, I will say this to, I guess, help the organization a little bit. By getting rid of him, obviously we traded Julio. This year sucks. I think like 60, 65 in cap. Next year, we're projected to have $110 million in cap space.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's so much money that you can rewrite your team. You can restructure. You can do everything you want. You can restart it all immediately. So I understand why they were like, okay, let's restart it all. Even for the Deshaun, we were giving up, I think, 2 or 3 picks. And one of our players, I believe, we weren't going to give him $230 million guaranteed, but okay, he might have taken 30 million of that 110. Now we have an all-star type quarterback, maybe, plus capital to go get him whoever we need next year. Now, so I understand why they thought this way. I would have done it entirely different personally, but I understand why they now are going.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what they did do is signed a guy who's been very good in the past.
Yeah. In the same scheme.
Was it 2 years?
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
2 year deal. So then if they're high on somebody that I think they were at Kenny Pickett's pro day pretty heavily,
whole staff, apparently.
full staff there. If they're really high on Kenny Pickett and they think that he's going to be a great dude, well, guess what? Marcus Mariota's probably a pretty darn good guy in the NFL to learn from.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in a system
In that
he was
system.
already in.
Exactly. Like
So I agree.
I like that. I like that signing. If they were going, I don't know that I personally Baker with age. I still think Baker's I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's great. But you save money, and you have a veteran leader. You go back to, what have you heard about the guy? You've never heard anything bad about Marcus Mariota.
No.
Baker you hear, I'm not a big Coward fan,
he's
but
also coming from the Browns, and the Browns have never done well at all with quarterbacks.
But
so
he did something.
He did.
There. But
He
you have Colin Cowherd who's Baker, and that's all he is. But never once have you heard Mariota talked about in a negative light.
Always positive.
Even when he gets cut.
AJ Brown tweeted, "Best quarterback leader I've ever played with."
And he's got I don't know how Tannehill is as a leader.
To Tannehill.
I don't know how Tannehill is a leader.
Right.
But as a sufficient quarterback to take you to the playoffs year after year, to be a number one seed in the playoffs, Tannehill's doing the right thing.
Failed miserably after that. But yeah, you're right. Right. No, I like the Mariota signing. I think it'll go well. To me, from a fan's perspective, not football, it gave us the ability to say, okay, we're still going to win some games. We have an outside chance at the playoff. It is an outside chance at the playoffs, but it's not a complete go start Josh Rosen or Felipe Franks and just hopefully you win 2 games and rack it all in. It's still competitive enough. You can get some free agents so they can see the future. If we get Pickett this year, cool. If not, we get another a rookie next year. I hope they sit behind Mariota again to learn the system. You can really set this whole team up for the next ride, right? The next decade, if done correctly. And they have a unique opportunity. I don't think in my lifetime I've seen, well, specifically the Falcons, they've always been in cap trouble, but a team to have $110 million in cap space to reset their team. It could be more if we get rid of Grady and Deion Jones, which I hope we don't get rid of Grady. He's a solid.
So I think one of the greatest parts about it is, and we mentioned Josh Rosen being a sufficient quarterback and different stuff. Josh Rosen to me is maybe a Colt McCoy, Josh McCown, a guy that's going to be in the league for a long time. Because he doesn't get starter money, but if your starter goes down, he can win a game.
Oh, yeah.
Or he can win a couple games. That's how I view Josh Rosen.
Oh, yeah.
Do I view him as the guy that came out of UCLA and said these double-digit teams, I can't remember exactly the number, are going to regret not picking me? No, I don't view him as that. But do I view him as a journeyman backup in the league and a very, very, very good backup? Yeah, kind of like a Colt McCoy, honestly.
Right. He'll win you a couple games. He's a good filler. He's not your long-term starter.
No.
But he's going to do his job and fill in.
Yeah, and that's I think the Falcons quarterback situation, even though I think it's better with Matt Ryan, it's still in good hands.
It's all right.
And I think they're going to draft a guy that they're going to draft their guy is what's going to happen because they have no problems with that quarterback room to wait a little bit.
Right.
Because that's still a decent quarterback room.
I don't think they'll panic and try to go up to get Pickett or whomever. Again, the only risk you take is, okay, what if we win 8-9 games next year? Get to the playoffs in the middle of the road. You're not getting one of those top tier next year unless you trade up and give a bunch of capital. It's possible. I don't highly see it. We talked about their max game winnage, 7-8 max.
Yeah.
Unless they get really lucky or draft kills it or some FAs come in that we don't know of, or the rest of the league actually ends up being not as good as we think. So like 7-8 is not going to get you there. Realistically, they're going to win 4 or 5 games. That's going to put you in the top 10, right?
So
pretty easily.
So I'll ask you this and you have some pretty darn good football knowledge. Look at this from a standpoint of they have the quarterback room. I look at this a little bit from like, I'm going to say Redskins, Commanders, the football team, whatever you want. They've had some good drafts, some good off seasons. They're not signing this crazy great quarterback, but they're building a core with their line, with their defensive line, with their defense. They're doing those things. I'd say the Falcons' quarterback room is much better than theirs.
I'd agree.
Do you start to see the Falcons maybe do that in the next couple of years if they don't have their guy as a quarterback?
What, focus on like the core?
Yeah, like they don't have their guy.
Yeah.
Maybe Kenny Pickett didn't show out in his pro day like they thought. So, okay,
right.
We wrote him off.
Or someone gets him before, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
it
reason.
is.
Yeah.
And then the next year, even though it's a better quarterback class, they go to a pro day, they go to the combine, they see this guy throw. He doesn't check the boxes. They wait. Maybe they sign Mariota for another year, whatever it is. But I think they have an opportunity to build that
the
is
core, regardless of the quarterback. I agree. No, so you would ask from a football perspective, and now I don't know the front office. They've only been around for a year, still learning them. However, I believe that's what they're thinking too. This draft, they're going to go straight core unless someone just falls in their lap. So we've got 5 in the first 100, in the top 100. You can build a core there.
Yeah.
Next year, probably relatively similar. I don't think we're going to do very well, so we'll be higher in the draft. And you also have at least $110 million to sign somebody. Again, I think in that draft, you don't get your guy. You have enough coin to go get a younger quarterback coming off their rookie deal. You could easily do that.
I think my favorite thing about that is with all of the money that they have money to sign veteran offensive linemen to where they go sign a rookie quarterback off of a rookie deal that doesn't scream dollar, but he has a great line in front of him so he can play well.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
So from a football team perspective, they have the capital, draft capital. They have the capital to build out the entire team core-wise to place almost any quarterback in it and still be successful enough. Now, if you have to stopgap it with a Mariota or a veteran guy until you get your long-term new Matt Ryan, fine. And that buys them time, and I think they should do that. Yeah. I will be surprised and probably upset if they don't. If they try to trade up to get Pickett at 4, or next year, we're in the top 10 and maybe we're 10 and they try to trade up to 4 to get Stroud or whoever, I think that would be a mistake. I don't think.
Yep.
Now, can they be franchise guys? Absolutely. But why give up your core, which we have not had one before in a very long time, for a rookie person?
I got to look this up because I think it was something about it was first round quarterbacks or top 10 quarterbacks in the few years. Let me see. There was something like there's 27, I think, quarterbacks or something like that taken in the top 10 or in the first round in X amount of years, and 0 of them are on their same team that they were drafted by. So I personally think that I think the Falcons in maybe not 22, obviously 22, 23, maybe not 24, I think maybe 25, 26, whenever those years come, the Falcons might be back to we're winning the division, we're in wild card contention because maybe we're one game out of first in our division, we're winning again. We're like, I think the Falcons are going to be
built right.
I think they have it built right now to do that.
Yeah.
And I think there's other teams that are scrambling to they're paying skill players too much to build a core. And I think that's the best decision that the Falcons didn't do with Watson is they didn't pay a skill position too much to build a core.
Absolutely. And if you look at the good teams that are in the playoffs right now, they have mostly quarterbacks on rookie deals or have signed them to long-term deals that doesn't hurt them right now. And look at the playoffs. I mean, it is what it is now. Obviously, we could always do a Stafford situation. I mean, there's a lot of variables there that I think they cannot go get. If Pickett's not their guy, although it looks like it is right now, if he's not their guy, don't go get a guy. Then be okay with it. Ride with Mariota. He's going to be solid enough.
Yeah.
Go pick up somebody, a Garoppolo for all I care. Serviceable enough if you have the weapons. Right now, we only have 2 skill guys, so I think you have to refill that. Our defense has been atrocious for 5-6 years.
It's March 22nd of 2022, and I'm going to venture out and say that the Colts with Matt Ryan are going to be a top 3 seed in the AFC.
Absolutely, and I'm going to put money on them winning the Super Bowl just because Matty Ice deserves a freaking ring.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I don't know what I
pick up Julio.
Oh yeah, I don't know that I want to
though.
just say
It's so
like,
hard.
hey, the one thing that I saw, I think it was Dan Orlovsky, maybe tweeted something. He's like, even with Matt Ryan's pickup, which is a great pickup by the Colts, I don't think the Colts are a top 6 team in the AFC. And he listed them out, and
I mean, yeah,
there's some that you could argue, but he probably, he's going to say that same. He might say that the Bengals aren't even a top 8 team in the AFC last year. Like,
right. Oh, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think the Colts are, I mean, look what they did last year, and they had a revolving door with Wentz and Brissett. Like, just saying, it's solidifying things, and they're going to be able to do things that they were never able to do before, because Matt Ryan's not going to throw the ball left-handed as a pick 6 to the other team like Wentz decided to do last year. Like, that's not going to happen.
no.
And you can ride the rock and have good defense. So
And
overall, pretty good. But we'll
Yeah.
get off the Matty Ice train. I won't ever. He's my guy. He's been my guy for 14 years.
I'm a big Matty Ice fan, man.
But let's get to a little bit more in the NFL. A little Vikings action this weekend.
Darius Smith, baby.
Woo!
So
That's a solid signing.
I agree. So there was talks with Darius Smith and Jadeveon Clowney. While Zadarius Smith was in his visit with the Vikings, they were trying to set up a visit with Jadeveon Clowney. I think you could probably look at numbers of when they're both fully healthy, both playing at a high level, and Zadarius Smith might outpace Jadeveon Clowney overall. I don't know a lot of guys that can outpace Jadeveon Clowney in the run game. Like, I just, that's just not a thing. But I also look at having Danielle Hunter on one side and having Zadarius Smith on the other side. And I think this opens up. I think the Vikings struggled last year in their secondary a little bit more than, their run game, that kind of stuff. And I think that's where they gave up points was, they definitely gave up points in 2-minute drill where it was short, quick outs to the sideline, quick chunks based off of getting passes down the field. I think that happens a hell of a lot less with Darius Smith and Danielle Hunter coming down on a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to, there's so many changes with Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adolfo and defensive coordinators. I'd have to look up the names off the top of my head, but there was so many links to Darius Smith from the Packers previously that it was stupid of the Vikings if he would have left.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, as a Vikings fan, I didn't get hopes up. I didn't sit here and say, yes, it's a guarantee, it's a done deal, because honestly, I thought Jim Harbaugh was a done deal.
That's true.
I thought that was a done deal. So in that situation, I was like, okay, yes, this is awesome. I can't wait. But don't get your hopes up because this could be another Harbaugh situation. What I think it does is opens up a lot of doors to defensive backs getting, maybe they don't have to cover as long because those quarterback pressures come a little bit faster. The ball has to come out of the hands a little bit quicker. They have to cover a little bit shorter routes. If they are deeper routes, safeties maybe aren't getting beat as bad because they don't have enough time to get beat. Those situations. So I think that secondary is going to look a lot better this year. I think one of my favorite things about the Vikings this year outside of that signing, though, is a lot of their veteran guys are restructuring.
Oh, absolutely.
Thielen, Cousins, we talked about last week. But some of those guys they're just restructuring and saying, hey, yeah, we'll give up some upfront money to allow us to be good now, or let's stretch it out over a career with some bonus incentives, different stuff.
You guys got Sheldon Richardson?
Did he re-sign? Because I thought that was...
Or is he a FA right now?
I think he might be a free agent right now.
Okay. I was like, wait, what? Did I miss that one?
He played quite a bit last year. But I think the Vikings defense is, I think based off of strategy, is going to be a 3-4. So having two edge rushers like Darius Smith, like Danielle Hunter is going to be really, really good. I think Dalvin Tomlinson is probably going to be playing most of nose tackle. If they go to a 4-3, you got guys that they were high on like Twyman. James Lynch is actually another name in there that's a pretty good guy. One guy that's still on the board that I don't know that they sign anymore because they just got Darius Smith is Anthony Barr. I think that's going to be a pretty good pickup for anybody.
I would say Jordan Hicks is the replacement for him.
Personally. And the reason I'm saying that is like Darius Smith is with Jordan Hicks, you could have still brought Barr back.
Had Barr. Yeah.
But now that you brought him back, I just
agree.
don't know that you can't. Where does he fit?
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe it's just like a coverage backer. I don't know, but just looking at this,
you guys need a slot receiver.
So
KJ Osborne.
KJ Osborne he played a lot better last year. I think with the Vikings last year, they had before Tyler Conklin and Irv Smith, there was Kyle Rudolph, and that dude could run routes, but he was also a guy that if you threw him the ball, he would catch it.
Right.
He had such good hands for a tight end; it was unbelievable, and he was a pretty darn good blocker. Now, the Vikings, I believe, just signed. Is this Johnny Munt? I think he's the Rams signing that they just had. Yep. So what they did was they got rid of Tyler Conklin because they knew that Irv Smith was going to come in and be their passing down back. Johnny Munt, he's going to be a special teams guy. He's going to be a blocker. He's going to be, if they want to go 2 tight end sets, he can run some of those routes and catch the ball. Would I have probably rather had Conklin in those situations where you're going to run a 2 tight end bootleg? Yeah, I would have. If you're going to run a flood and Conklin has to come all the way across the field, yep, I'm gonna take that. But I think Munt's going to be okay. But I think we saw, what was it? Munt had like 1 catch last year for like 8 yards or something.
Not fair though. He's behind some solid tight.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But yeah, like
his
stats don't show that he's prolific in the passing game.
But again, you get a new special teams coordinator, and I think, a lot of it was a kicker. But I personally believe more often than not, games are won and lost in special teams. And they get overlooked like crazy. Okay, can your offense score? Can your defense hold somebody? If your offense can't score and they got to the 48, the opponent's 48, can your kicker pin somebody inside the 10, inside the 5?
Right.
Can you have a gunner that can get down there and a guy doesn't hit a fair catch and can make a sure tackle on open field? On the defensive side, can you have a punt returner that averages 7 yards a return? Something like that. Like that's what I look at. So I think with a Munt in that situation, can you go into full on protect and you're on your own goal line, whatever it is, and not get punts blocked? Because there was a couple punts blocked last year that the Vikings had to deal with.
Those are fun.
So I mean, I like that.
I lied. They're not fun.
I like that. If we want to speak on Cole's behalf, Cowboys offseason moves. Anybody can take Zeke if they really want to.
Get rid of Zeke.
They've done some restructuring. They've done some different stuff. I think this, though, for me, has been one of the most excited years I have been for the draft in a long time, because there's been a lot of free agent moves and big free agent moves across the NFL.
I agree.
And this isn't just talking Vikings. This isn't just talking Falcons. Do the Seahawks draft a quarterback? Does Baker go to the Seahawks before they can draft a quarterback? Like, what happens in that situation? There's still time before, I think, what is it, April 24th? Is that the start of the draft?
21st, I think.
April 28th. So
28th.
Thursday the 28th to Saturday the 30th. So, like, what happens with free agents, with offseason moves before then? There's a lot of teams that have needs to fill.
So many.
And do they do that in the draft, or do they do that prior to?
Right.
And we saw, for both of us, so we can both agree on this, lackluster line play.
Poor effort.
Very, 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 very poor line play between the Falcons and the Vikings. But you look at the Chiefs, and they went from poor line play, Patrick Mahomes running for his life, even though he's in the Super Bowl, like that kind of stuff, to
one of the best O-lines.
some very, very good line play the next year.
Pretty quick. Yeah, I agree. And some of that's gel time. Some of that's FAs. Play calling helps.
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna go into the season with a new offense. So that's, I think, assuming your O-line gels, will fix some of those gaps, I believe, based upon how they call plays. And then ours, like, they were continuously getting better as the season goes. So it's more of a gel in the same system, with some new FAs to kind of compete, plus rookies. So line play for both our teams should be better next year.
I've always liked Marcus Mariota. He might be one of my favorite, like, free agent signings that I've seen. I'm just curious to see how he can play. I mean,
there will be, I promise you, an RPO or some type of triple option with Pitts, Patterson, and Mariota. I'm going to write that down right now. That is going to happen at some point.
and I don't know anybody that can say that that's below average. That's a very, very much so. Top 25% RPO that you could probably put together in
Good luck.
the league.
Good luck. Good luck with that one.
You got to have a mobile quarterback. You got to have
we might only be able to run that a couple times. Because if Mariota gets hurt, it's game over for that. But hey, good luck stopping that one.
I just
don't make us drop back and throw to our receivers because we don't have any.
No, I think that's a good wrap up of the NFL free agents. Unless you got more stuff.
I got nothing really. I mean, it's been a little crazy. That's took precedent. We'll get in some draft stuff soon, but really, golf's for soon. Got March Madness still.
I can't wait to rebuild this bracket that I built before.
Yeah, that was.
It would have been way worse if I would have lost the whole spreadsheet, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like way, 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 way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But at least you didn't spend all night last night doing it.
But it was like rather done that than other stuff.
Didn't listen to your wifey do CEs or some shit. Yeah. I agree. All right. Well, the rundown.
So, as always, everybody, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, follow, share. If you got a March Madness bracket that isn't busted, we want to see it because you're incredible in that situation. Let's see some of those WGC. Let's see some of those Dell Matchplay brackets. I think this is a fun event. It's a breakup event throughout the year. Guys are getting ready, geared towards the Masters that's coming up quick. And it's a very, very, very good field this week with these 64 players that are playing. So I'm excited. I know these other guys are. So if you guys have any comments, any hot takes that you guys want us to talk about, if you guys have some favorite teams that you think that this free agency signing was the craziest signing that you ever heard of, let us know.
And come at us.
Exactly. Until then, we'll talk to you guys next week. Again, we're going to go through some of these March Madness things until April 4th, I think, is the championship game. So we're going to pick those next week, and then Masters is right around the corner for golf.
It's going to be a great time.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's time